we're going to talk about Disney haters pack theory. Just make sure this is all good. You know, I realized that no one actually has come up with a pack theory before I have. So I'm going to be introducing my fully patented Disney haters pack theory. You know, this is a theory that you should be used mainly in competitive, but I mean, this could be used as a theory in general play, really, when you think about it. It's really, it comes down to a theory about positioning during fights. The theory goes, Disney haters pack theory goes, whoever controls the pack controls the fight. So this means that you want to set yourself up in a advantageous position in a fight where you have control of the pack, where they cannot reach it, and you will have a very huge advantage in the fight. You will control that fight. The theory is controlling the pack can give you greater control of a fight, not just complete control. So I guess the claim should be, I guess, qualified in that sense. So, yeah, back to the video. Let's say that someone has a high ground. Like if I was up here as like a soldier, but someone was controlling a pack down there, they would have the health advantage because of the pack playing that fight, so they could still win it. But I would have the height advantage, which allowed me to deal more damage to that person down below and would prevent them, if depending on their class, to deal damage to me. So just to clarify for this section of the video, the pack theory doesn't mean that you're exempt from any other disadvantages or any other advantages you may have in a fight. And I'm really focusing mainly on the disadvantages you may face. Meaning that just because you control the pack does not give you the overall advantage in a fight. Obviously, the other player could have better DM and just out damage you even when you have the additional health from the pack. But someone could also have, you know, a height advantage. They could have obviously a player advantage. All this theory is saying that if you put this very simple, you know, just tip really to follow, this general tactic of just being very aware of where you're positioning yourself in fights, like try and, you know, stray towards the health packs in fights. This simple correction in a lot of your positioning can help you win a lot of fights, even if they do. Even if they do have better DM, if you're, you know, just slightly, you know, less, you know, skillful than they are, you could end up winning the fight because of the health advantage. But like I'm saying, also if they have, you know, height advantage, like a good example of this would be a process in the middle area. When you have the, you know, someone's on top of the crates and you're on the middle pack down below. Let's say you're two soldiers. I mean, you're not going to obviously have any advantage staying down there, shooting rockets up above them, as they could just rain down on you from the height advantage, even if you do have the pack to take, you know, one extra rocket from the 100 health you get from a pack. The theory isn't stating that because of a simple, you know, choice of positioning, you're not going to win every fight. It's just, you know, it's mainly, the strength of this theory is the simplicity of it, is that simply knowing your positioning, or you're keeping aware, or being aware of where you're positioning yourself in your packs, can give you a huge advantage of a fight that would otherwise be harder to obtain, like such as having an extra player, which it wasn't necessarily harder, but it's very situational. You know, you have to have that player alive and in that position with you, and you have to be coordinated, obviously have an advantage in a fight. So if it's just you, which you control in a fight, you can control your positioning and be near a pack, you can give yourself a huge advantage in a fight. Let's say this, you have to take into account of other disadvantages and advantages that could come into a fight. You know, let's say, like I said earlier, another man being in the fight, height advantage, you know, different classes that counter each other. These can all be taken into account of a fight. The general rule of this theory, and why I see the importance of it, is that, like I said, the simplicity is just trying to remember where you are in a fight. You know, if you don't want to stray too far from the pack, honestly, unless you are chasing them down. But even so, you gotta keep in mind that if you stay near that pack, you're gonna have a nice advantage. As for class-related advantages, a demo man controlling a pack in a relatively open area against a scout is kind of a better chance to win a fight, but not very much, as you would have already had a pretty low chance to win a fight to begin with, because scouts being so easy, you know, being able to dominate, you know, the close quarters of battle in a fight, while Demo Man would just be essentially useless unless he could land his pipes really well. But even so, Scout has just a huge advantage just because of the class's design. But let's say something like, you know, a Scout holding a pack against another oncoming Scout, which is a very common scenario, I believe, in fights where this theory really shines, is that a Scout versus another Scout can always come down to whoever is controlling the pack. You know, because if both of them are landing, you know, some well-timed meat shots on each other, the one who gets the extra health is going to survive the fight. So that's where I think the theory shines most. When it comes to fights, you're going to see that scenario a lot, in my opinion, if you ever looked through any fights that occur. So I looked around, I didn't really see anyone talking about this, so I thought I would just make a nice video on it. Taco, you got any closing thoughts on this video?
I'd say try out the pack theory for yourself. Just to, you know, don't take someone's word for it. Try it out yourself.
Yeah.
You'll see that it's true at least 70% of the time.
So I said, you know, just test it in your own gameplay. You'll see that the Disney haters pack theory, it works in practice. One last final thought on the pack theory is that I'm not claiming that there's a problem with a lot of players not knowing that it's important to utilize health packs. I'm just simply claiming that I believe that health packs are often forgotten in fights as being a huge advantage that you could take into your play, because that's what the game is about, using your advantages and playing off of them. And I feel like the health packs are an advantage that any player can take by simply choosing some smart positioning, some knowledge of the maps, game sense. And it's a very simple, easy advantage they could gain to give them a massive amount of control. So it's low risk, high reward in a sense. And I think that people need to be more aware of that. And like I said, I'm not sure if I was the first person to think about this. I'm sure I'm not. I'm not even nearly as high of a player as many people in TF2, but still, I think I've played this game a lot, played it for a long time, and I thought it'd just be kind of neat to make a video on it. Probably only gonna show a few friends, and it needs to be vocalized. You know, like as I said before, I'm sure players know about it, but I don't think many really voice their opinions on it, or at least inform people of this so-called theory. So I hope you enjoyed it. And, alright, I think I'm done with this video, Taco. I'm gonna keep recording though. You know why?
Why?
You know why I'm gonna keep recording?
Why?
Because I'm frag